Hello everyone, welcome to New Wealth Japan. I'm thrilled to have you here today. This channel is dedicated to helping travelers from around the world discover and experience the very best of Japan. From ancient temples and historic castles that have stood for centuries, to the vibrant world of anime, unique Japanese souvenirs, and incredible cuisine that will tantalize your taste buds, we cover it all. Japan is a country where tradition meets innovation, where you can enjoy a traditional tea ceremony in the morning and explore cutting-edge technology districts in the afternoon. It's this beautiful contrast that makes Japan so fascinating. We're passionate about sharing hidden gems, travel tips, and cultural insights that will make your Japanese adventure unforgettable. Whether you're planning your first trip or you're a seasoned Japan traveler, we've got something special for you. I'm truly grateful that so many people from all corners of the world share this passion for Japanese culture with us. Your enthusiasm and curiosity inspire every video we create. So sit back, relax, and let's explore Japan together. Let's get started.
Welcome to Kinkaku-ji Temple. Officially named Rokuon-ji, this temple was built in 1397 by Ashikaga Yoshimitsu, the third shogun of the Muromachi shogunate. It was constructed as Yoshimitsu's Kitayama villa and became a Zen temple after his death according to his will. The three-story golden pavilion covered in gold leaf is known worldwide as a representative example of Japanese architecture. The temple was destroyed by arson in 1950, but was reconstructed 5 years later, and the gold leaf was replaced in 1994, restoring its former brilliance. It is registered as a UNESCO World Cultural Heritage Site under Historic Monuments of Ancient Kyoto. The reflection of the Golden Pavilion in Kinkaku-ji Pond is breathtakingly beautiful throughout all 4 seasons. The first floor features Shinden Zukuri style, the second floor Buke Zukuri style, and the third floor Zen Buddhist temple architecture. These different architectural styles harmonize to express the ideal Pure Land paradise that Yoshimitsu envisioned. Please savor the essence of Muromachi culture in its golden splendor.
Japan is home to some of the most absolutely breathtaking cultural treasures in the world. But here's the catch. These priceless sites exist in one of the most dangerous places on Earth. So this is the story of how a nation's most fragile wonders manage to survive against, well, impossible odds. Let's dive in and see how they pull it off. Just look at this. This is Kinkaku-ji, the Golden Pavilion in Kyoto. And yes, its top 2 stories are covered in pure gold leaf. It's not just beautiful, it's an architectural marvel, blending 3 totally different styles from different moments in history into one perfect building that just shimmers on the water. And then you have this guy, the great Buddha of Kamakura. Cast way back around 1252, this bronze giant has been sitting here, just like this, for almost 8 centuries. It's been hit by typhoons, tsunamis, earthquakes, you name it, and it's still here. Talk about the ultimate symbol of resilience. But, and this is a huge but, their survival is no accident. They are in constant, and I mean constant, peril. Japan is basically a geological hot zone. We're talking more than 2,000 active fault lines, and it's always in the path of monster storms and tidal waves. So that's the big question, right? How are they still standing? How do these symbols of peace and permanence manage to exist in a place of such constant, violent change? Well, the answer is this incredible mix of ancient wisdom and cutting-edge ingenuity. To really get how these sites survive, you first have to understand a key idea. Japan's heritage is so precious because it's always been so fragile. And believe me, this isn't a new problem. A building like Kinkaku-ji, it's like a history book made of wood and gold. The first floor? That's the fancy palace style of the Heian aristocrats. The second floor is totally different. It's modeled after the homes of samurai warriors from the Kamakura era. And the very top floor is a Chinese Zen temple. It's a whole timeline in one spot. But those historical periods weren't exactly peaceful. As the historian Jian wrote back in the 13th century, Japan was basically born from turmoil. So this idea that beauty has to be defended, whether it's from rival clans or from the earth itself, that's baked right into the culture. So let's talk about that physical threat. Just how big is it, really? Because this isn't some abstract risk. For Japan, it's just daily life. 2,000. Just let that number sink in for a second. That's not the total number of fault lines. That's the number of active ones. It gives you a sense of the incredible energy just waiting to be released. An earthquake isn't a question of if, it is always a question of when. This right here captures the whole story perfectly. On one side, you've got the peaceful, serene calm of a historic treasure. And on the other, you have a hazard map showing all the overlapping risks: earthquakes, floods, landslides. This is the reality for Japan's heritage, a little pocket of peace inside a massive web of danger. Okay, so how on earth do you protect against all that? You don't just hope for the best. Nope. Japan has developed this incredibly detailed, multi-layered national blueprint for survival. The whole thing is built on this foundation, the 1950 Law for the Protection of Cultural Properties. Now, this isn't just a friendly suggestion, it's a legal mandate. It created a whole system to identify, manage, and pay for the protection of the nation's most important sites, and it's all run by the Agency for Cultural Affairs. And what this law does is create this amazing cascade of responsibility. It starts way up at the top with a national plan. Then that plan gets broken down for specific government ministries. From there, cities and prefectures make their own local plans. And then finally, it gets down to the most critical level, the community, where local people make their own voluntary plans to protect their own backyard. So what you end up with is this clear chain of command where everybody knows their job. The national government makes the rules and provides the money. Local governments actually put the plans into action. But, and this is key, it's the property owners, the temples, the shrines, the families who do the daily upkeep and crucially are the first responders when a disaster hits. Plans on paper are great, but let's get to the really cool stuff. Let's look at the incredible engineering, both ancient and brand new, that physically keeps these treasures safe. This is just brilliant. A lot of these sites use gravity-fed water systems. They put a big tank of water on a hill high above the temple. So why is that so smart? Well, think about it. A huge earthquake hits, the power grid is down, the city water mains are broken. This system, it doesn't need any of that. It's totally fail-safe fire protection. And what about landslides? Check this out. It's called the non-frame method. Instead of building some ugly concrete wall that would totally ruin the landscape, engineers drill these long steel bars deep into the hillside and then connect them with wire ropes. It holds the earth in place, but you can barely even see it. The trees stay, the natural beauty stays. It's protection that's practically invisible. You know, the science of making buildings earthquake-proof has really evolved. The traditional way was to make a building flexible, kind of like a tree in the wind, so it could sway and move with the earthquake. The modern approach is often the exact opposite, to completely isolate the building from the ground's movement. They'll install these massive rubber bearings or dampers in the foundation, totally hidden from view, that just soak up the seismic energy. But all the technology in the world is only half the story. At the end of the day, the ultimate defense is the people. Japan has created this deep, powerful culture of preparedness, a kind of human shield for its history. And these are the guardians. You've got heritage managers. These are architects with special training to repair damage using old-school traditional methods. Then there's Shirio-net, a network of volunteers that rushes in after a disaster to save priceless historical documents. And of course, the local communities themselves, who are trained as first responders and are constantly running fire drills at these sites. One of the coolest tools they use is something called the Disaster Imagination Game, or DIG. It's basically a tabletop exercise. People from the community get together around a map of their own neighborhood. A facilitator throws a disaster scenario at them, like, okay, magnitude 7 earthquake just hit, a fire has started at the temple, go! And they have to game out their response, figuring out in real time that, oh wait, that road is probably blocked, or that water source is gone. It makes the abstract plan feel very, very real. When you put all this together, the laws, the engineering, the community drills, you realize it's pointing to something deeper. Resilience in Japan isn't just about rebuilding. It's really an art form. And that leads to this really profound question. After a disaster, we always hear this phrase, build back better. But for a historic site, how do you add modern protection without, erasing the very thing you're trying to protect? It's this constant, delicate dance between preservation and safety. And that really leaves us with one last thing to think about. Japan's approach to its heritage isn't about planning for the next 10 years or even the next 100. It's a plan for forever. In a world that's so often focused on the short term, what can we all learn from a culture that has made preserving its past a permanent, non-negotiable part of its future?
And that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed exploring this part of Japan with us. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us reach more travelers like you who love Japan. And here's the most important part. If you haven't already, please subscribe to New Wealth Japan and hit that notification bell. By turning on notifications, you'll be the first to know whenever we upload a new video. We post new content regularly, featuring different destinations, food experiences, and cultural insights across Japan, so you won't want to miss out. Now, we'd love to hear from you. Do you have any questions about what we covered today? Is there a specific place in Japan you'd like us to feature in an upcoming video? Maybe a particular Japanese dish you're curious about, or a cultural tradition you want to learn more about? Please share your thoughts, questions, and suggestions in the comments below. We read every single comment, and your feedback helps shape our future content. Also, if you've been to Japan before, we'd love to hear about your experiences. Share your favorite memories or travel tips with our community. Let's learn from each other. Thank you so much for watching and for being part of our New Wealth Japan family. Your support means the world to us. Until next time, safe travels, and see you in the next video. Sayonara.